Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, and welcome to Morning Brew. Yes, I'm Captain Fandom Nerd now. The funny thing is, people are going to be like, huh, what? Why the name change? Well, to be honest, I got tired of being trapped by only Trek, and after seeing the most current iteration of Trek, or so called Trek, I had it, and it's like time to change the name. Not interested in their garbage. Even though it's packaged pretty, it's garbage. So-called Spock and T'Pring clip thing just yeah, that just blew it for me. So there aren't going to be many people here because there aren't people. People are going to be going, "Who the hell is that?" And why isn't I going to go onto his stream? So share it out. Let people know. And Dr. Alex was on the train. I don't know if he still is or not. Not Ryan Johnson says, hello out there in YouTube land. And Chronos says, hey, Captain Fandom Nerd, whatever name and all. Should I be getting coffee now? And I replied, yes, Chronos. Chronos says, remember to switch to live chat. Well, fortunately, I had the StreamYard side, so I didn't have to switch to live chat. But I went ahead and switched to live chat. Thank you. Bird Prey 5 says, Wordle screwed up today. Okay, Bird, you're going to have to come on and tell how Wordle screwed up. I know it's breaking news. But what did Wordle do to screw up? Coffee. What did Wordle do to screw up today?
Hello, world. It's Birdo Pry 5. Kapla.
Kapla.
Kapla. Okay. Jesus, I got to lower my mic range. All right, hold on one second, Captain.
No problem.
All right. I'll be right back.
No problem. I hope it's not CNN breaking news. No, I kind of doubt it's CNN breaking news. And 47 Yorktown says, bonjour from Eastern Canada. Well, Mega Cropper, it's Captain Fandom Nerd now, but thank you. I'm going to have to change the Stream Element spot.
Wonderful. Okay, Captain. Kapla, resolute everyone. So here's what happened. The New York Times decided that the word that happened to be set for today, and this word was set by the original creator of the game, at least a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
The Times has not changed any of the answers, but today's answer or word, they thought and they thought right, was too political for today. So they wanted to get ahead of it and change it to something else. So they probably looked at this yesterday or something, or the day before, and they're like, we gotta make this change. And they went ahead and did it more or less likely without telling anyone, without making any news of it. Like you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, but they didn't realize, or maybe they did realize and just hoped for the best, that the way the game was written is it doesn't verify the answer before the game starts. Once you've downloaded the file that the game runs on, it could be on your computer for a day, a month, a week. It only downloads again if a few things are met. One is if it's a new session of your web browser. And two, probably it could be months or years before it would download again if it's not forced to. So
Mm-hmm.
if you have a phone that you haven't shut off, or a computer that you've left on, you don't turn off at night, and your web browser you don't close, you keep it open, then you were still had the old version of the file from however long ago before they made the change. So, like, um, Mamo Pray, who shuts her computer off every night, she had the old version. She had the new version because she turned it on and downloaded it this morning and had the new version of the word, which wasn't political. But me, who leaves my computer on, um, and my phone, doesn't. And I also play it on my phone. I had the old version. So when Mama Pray is like, we talk about it and how she got it in one clue from Yosef, and Yosef also had the new version. Surprisingly, Yosef had the new version
Right.
of the word. So I was like, it wasn't making any sense what she was telling me. And finally I said, Mom, I have the T, the this, the that. She's like, T, there's no T in the word. I was like, yes, there is, right in the middle. And it was the first time, like, what the hell is going on? How is it that we both have different words? It made no sense to the point that I knew something was off. So I Googled Wordle with the two answers. And of course, there's already 100 articles written about what went on. Of course, they didn't understand why it happened. But I understand why, because, tech person. It actually makes the original coder of this a genius. I was wondering, I was like, why the hell would you put because if you don't know, all the answers to Wordle for the next, well, up until today, for the next however many years, are already saved in the file in the game that you downloaded. If you ever went to Wordle.com or whatever the website is. It's not Wordle.com, I don't think. If you ever went to the New York Times Wordle or the original Wordle site, you had all the answers. You just had to look. If you ever opened the JavaScript file, they're all there in plain text. So I was like, why would you do that? That was stupid. But now I realize, no, it wasn't stupid. It was genius. Because understand, if you're putting out a free game, the one thing you have to pay for is bandwidth. Bandwidth isn't free. You have to pay for that. So if they only have to download the file one time, that saves you money every day. So imagine, So if you have 1 million people coming to your website every day, that's a lot of money. But if you have 1 million people coming over the course of a year, that's not too bad. And so he could live with that without having to upgrade. And the New York Times they would much rather have the people come every day because they get paid by clicks, by views. So the New York Times, they should have changed the file the moment they took control of it to say, no, you reload this file every day or every time you visit. But they didn't. Because they probably didn't understand what he did or the beauty of it. They literally just put his file on their server and without any changes.
That was stupid of them.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
was
it was a fuck
utterly
up.
stupid of them.
No, it was a fuck up. It was a fuck up, and probably because their IT or person probably had no idea how to do any coding whatsoever, and they just paid the guy for his skills and put it up. So, yeah, I would say that counts as a blunder. Well, it is breaking news, Kronos, in that if Captain Fandom Nerd wanted to, he could change the title of this to Wordle broken breaking news or whatever, and he'd get a whole bunch of people. Now they wouldn't be nerds; they'd be word nerds maybe, but they wouldn't be sci-fi nerds. Anyway,
you know what? You're absolutely right. Thank you.
if you're serious about it, I'll go ahead and go to your YouTube and see if I can't put in some tags.
Thank you.
Okay. Content, live, morning brew. Wordles.
Good morning, Keely Chow.
It's Monday, May 9th. New York attempted to change the time, but that's given that's what resulting in some resulting in two versions resulting in two different puzzles or two different puzzles for today, causing chaos among friends and Wordle and
Good morning, Resolute Germ.
across the planet. Why did this happen and what can we do? Expert breakdown.
Yeah, Kelly Chow, I wish I got some money from that. That would be nice. Resolute Germ says Kapla bird.
Kapla. I'll be right back there. I'm just
No
putting
problem.
in some tags.
Time is relative. Colonel says, "Hey, Mama Pray, happy belated Mother's Day."
Kronos is yelling happy belated Mother's Day. She says thank you.
Yeah. You can't count that high. Hello, Brandon Looney Tunes fan 2000.
Is this game 340, Mom? Is that what it was? Huh?
No, I said Diana.
$324. Okay. Wordle 324. Good. All saved. That's something. Okay. At least we got something out there. So,
Absolutely.
for those of you who are just joining us, Wordle, the very popular game purchased earlier this year by the New York Times from its creator for a low seven figures number. Apparently, the New York Times felt that the answer for today that was programmed in a year ago was by coincidence too political, and I think since this word is not supposed to be the current answer, but it is for a lot of people. There is a spoiler here. The word that they wanted, the word that was originally programmed to be the word for today was fetus, Fetus. As you can imagine, with the current politics going on, nobody would have expected it to be that today. And sure, to be honest, because I had the word. No, I didn't have the word. Oh, yes, I did have the word. I had the word. And I was like, wow, that's really, uh, I honestly thought, I was like, wow, are they really running that word right with what's going on? And I was going to check to see if it was saved from before or if they finally updated the answers. Because if you know what you're doing, you know, if you understand the JavaScript code and you looked at it from Wordle, you would know that all the answers prior to the Times purchasing the program were public. They weren't, and even after the Times published it, they didn't make any changes, any visible changes to the software. So literally the answers for the next 10 years or 5 or 10 years are saved in the original file, to the point that you could run any 5-letter word and figure out the date it was supposed to show up. And honestly, that was a bit funny because I was like, oh, I wonder what time the word Trump is going to show up. Because it is a 5-letter word. And I was like, people are going to get angry if it shows up during 2024 or something. So I searched the file and Trump was in there, but I believe it wasn't supposed to come out to 2026. So I figured, well, by 2026, he'd either be president or he'd be completely gone. So it probably wasn't a problem.
Yep.
And honestly, I was a little disappointed to know how long away it was from coming out. But that was the kind of thing you could do because they were using the same file. So clearly, somebody at the Times has like every week or something, they get what the answers are going to be for the next week, and they decide if it's something they need to change. And my guess is this was the first time they decided they needed to change an answer because it was too political, and they never attempted to change it. And they didn't understand that the JavaScript file they have is loaded only once. Once the computer loads it for the first time, the guy who wrote it set it so that it didn't need to be reloaded each time. And he did that to save money. And it's really a genius move. That's why he put 10 years of answers in one file. It's certainly cheaper for him that anybody visiting his server, they only have to download that file the first time, and then you never have to download it again. So that saves him a ton of money in bandwidth. But for somebody like the New York Times, they want people to download it every time because they get paid by the click. And every time somebody downloads it, that's another option to show another advertisement or to make changes to it. So they screwed up. The person should have realized that, hey, if we're going to make changes in the future, we need to change it now. That every time somebody loads up Wordle, it has to check the server, see if there's an updated JavaScript file, and then download it if there is. What they did essentially was the opposite. Was they don't download a new JavaScript file unless the one on their local computer has already been expired, and then and only then will they download the new file.
Oops. I mean, it's genius of the original programmer.
Yeah.
It's kind of oversight on the New York Times part.
I mean, it happens, and it's just newsworthy because Wordle is such a popular. I mean, when Sisopre comes over, she's playing it. And all her friends at work are playing it. She's telling stories. Well, I hear stories of people unrelated to me that they put way too much uh, faith in Wordle and what it means by people who are able to do Wordle. I mean, people who do Wordle, they might have a gift, they might just be good at word games, whatever it is. But some people think, well, they it's an IQ test, which it is not. But there are people who live and die by knowing they can do Wordle better than somebody else. Now, if they get Wordle in 4, I got to get it in 3, or else, their entire life is for naught. Well, I wouldn't go that far, but there are people out there who live like that. So hence it's newsworthy. Mexican Iron Man says, "Oh my God, you guys are smarty pants. This is a fancy talk for Mexicans on a Monday morning."
And I do want to say good morning, Rod Thunderheart.
Mega Cropper says, "Is the New York Times relevant today?" Only on their games, apparently.
Yes, Monday. I'm trying to find where you're at now. You're way ahead of me. Oh, good God, I'm behind in chat.
Oh, yeah, I just keep the chat. On other people's chat, I just keep the chat at the most recent.
And good morning, the Bosco scenario. Good morning, Mexican Iron Man.
I felt so bad for PJ last night on Doomcock stream.
Why is that?
No, PJ just went like 2 hours defending Strange New Worlds, and then everybody on Doomcock stream was tearing Strange New Worlds up, and PJ was right in the center, and Doomcock gets to him and is expecting him to agree with everybody else about how horrible Strange New Worlds is, but he just went 2 hours defending it, and it's hard. It's hard to change. It's hard to tell people that you disagree with them. He did. Yeah, he made it through. And everybody's still friends. So
I'm sorry. I could not possibly. I would have done wonderful on Doomcock last night because I could have absolutely torn up that piece of shit Strange New Worlds. Most of the time it'd be like, oh, thank God I'm not on because I'd have nothing to talk about. Yesterday I would have been like, Oh shit! I got to be quiet because this is not my stream.
That's it.
It's like, oh my god, how utterly stupid. Let's see here. I'm going to scroll through. Good morning, the lovely Sherry. Rod Thunderheart says I struck my ass. Oh my god. I don't know how PJ did it, to be quite honest. Of course, the funny thing was people in his chat were ripping it apart.
Oh yeah. It felt bad for him there too. I mean, listen,
I
if he
didn't.
likes it, he likes it. I understand.
He's trying to get people from the show on. I understand that. He's trying to get people who are connected with the show on, and he can't do that if he's ripping it apart. So he's got to defend it, whether he likes it or not. He may love it. I don't know. He may hate it. I don't know. But I know the fact that he's trying to get, I would, if I were him, I would be trying to get, somebody connected to Strange New Worlds on. And in order to do that, you got to defend the show. Period. If I were that interested in getting somebody on from Strange New Worlds, I wouldn't be talking about it very much. Except, have you seen the latest one? And I would be defending everything that was good in the show. So he's absolutely brilliant in doing what he's doing.
Imagine if he got Alex Kurtzman.
You never know. He could get Alex Kurtzman on. And how did you get in here?
Ha ha! Ha ha ha! Just when you think that you are no longer going to support diversity and inclusion makes you support diversity and inclusion.
Absolutely.
Bird sent me the link.
Oh yeah, I figured as much.
Yeah, because Bird of Prey supports. That is why Klingons and Mexicans have formed an alliance along with other sectors of the universe against your anti-diversity, anti-inclusion ways, Captain.
Hey, I am now more inclusive than ever.
How's
I am
that?
now Captain Fandom Nerd. It's not just Captain Trek. It's Captain Fandom Nerd. We will talk about other fandoms other than Star Trek, Star Wars. We'll talk about anything you want.
Anything?
And within reason, yes.
Well, let's start talking about PJ. So you're telling me that when he came on Doomcock's show last night, he said that he just finished reviewing it for 2 hours. So I'm guessing he went live. Is that what he did?
Yeah, he did a live review.
Oh my god, I gotta watch that today. This has got to be entertaining as frack. Because last night on Doomcock's show, we roasted the shit out of that show.
Yeah.
So he must have been sitting there dying.
I'm sure he must have been, because he was trying so hard to keep it all positive.
On his live stream, you mean?
Yeah, on his stream.
Oh, this will be entertaining. Mondays is like one of my worst work day. It's the worst work day of the week for sure. Mondays is always the worst. So this will be pretty entertaining while I'm doing work, listening to that.
He had a great setup. I mean,
he had a great setup.
It looked nice. He had a nice thumbnail and artwork behind him or whatever while he was talking.
I mean, I guess I see your point. If he wants to book some of the people on the show on his show,
Mhm.
but I mean, that's not my approach to life. I mean, God, can you imagine if I co-hosted? So I'd be like, yeah. So when you read the script and realized it sucked, how did you find the courage to persevere on?
I
Here would be my. So let's say we get one of the producers on that show. I mean, PJ will never invite me to be a co-host on that live stream, and I love PJ. PJ loves me. We've been buddies for a long time. So, and I just think he's just.
I mean, I can't say that's what he's doing, but that's what I would do if I were him.
Oh, okay. So we don't know for sure, but let's just say
No.
we did. Let's say Captain Fandom Nerd booked some of the producers on, and Mexican Iron Man was invited to be the co-host. Another question I'd ask would be, so as a producer for the Strange New World show, I have a couple questions. Here, Bird, play with me. Let's play this game at home. You get to be a producer.
Yeah.
I'll be the co-host with Captain Fandom Nerd here. Mr. Producer Prey, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Um,
Pleasure to be here.
as a producer for the show, was there a time in which you realized that you were producing horse shit? And if so, how big was the check that got you to produce the horse shit anyway?
Well, first off, I got to tell you, don't like your tone. My horses have nothing to do with this. I fell in love with the script. Akiva brought me the script. We had some iced tea on my porch over my infinity pool, overlooking the lemon orchid. And we went back and forth. I gave him some ideas. I told him I really wanted to see 7 and 9 in a lesbian relationship. Like all my daughters are lesbians. My wife also lesbian. I myself lesbian trapped in a man's body. So it was important to me that we had some lesbian representation. And it was so I would say I was behind 7 being gay. So you're welcome, and keep it up.
Okay, I have another question.
Yes.
Mr. Producer Prey. If diversity and inclusion is so important, why are there never any Mexicans in the future in any of the Star Trek shows, except 1 out of a billion? Where did all the Mexicans go, and how did you wipe them out? And what's that story like?
The Mexicans, obviously. After World War III, they got very rich, and they all blasted off into space, because all the Home Depots moved to the moon. So the Mexicans followed the Home Depots, and they're all living on the moon. I think they call it El Luna.
La Luna.
La Luna. Yeah, La Luna. And, they have special Taco Bell special up there on the moon. La Luna Cabeza. I think it's called the crazy head taco.
Okay, so that's why we never see them, because in all the Star Trek crappy ass shows that we now have, no one ever visits the moon or flies by the moon anymore.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
Okay, but that's where if I wanted to see my people in the Star Trek universe, that's where they would be.
Yeah, the moon, or they used to be on Mars, but they got burned. Yeah, the synths destroyed them all.
Okay, let's pretend we were interviewing Anson Mount. You know what I would ask Anson Mount? Anson, you're a great actor. You've done a lot of great performances and a lot of great roles. What does it feel like to work with other actors and actresses, or whatever they call themselves, around you that completely and totally suck?
Yeah, I am the greatest, and I try to pull up as many my fellow actors as possible, but I just need a constant stream of attractive young actresses that can be shown topless, but only from the back in my bed.
Oh yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah, only
Yeah,
only
I
from the
gotta
back.
tell you, I was really excited for the show when it started off because I'm like, holy crap, a white guy and a white girl doing a heterosexual bang bang in a TV show. I haven't seen this in like 20 years, it feels like.
Well, to be fair, I don't think her gender is established.
Oh, good God.
I didn't ask.
Oh, give me a break. Oh,
You know, we've
God.
got this don't
No.
ask, don't tell policy.
No.
Um, her she does have a little tie in her, so I don't know.
Are you saying because she was facing down, she may have been pointing down, if you know what I mean?
I'm just saying that there was after she left, there was some unusual fluid in my bed.
Oh, my
And
God.
it wasn't from me.
Oh, my
It
God.
wasn't from me, and it's
Oh, my God.
it took a little extra of the stain remover, if you know what I
Oh,
mean.
my God. Holy shit. This is the wildest coffee talk ever I've been on.
So at
Now,
least while
on a
you're
more
working,
serious note,
yes.
so Bird of Prey, I avoided I know you reviewed it because I got the notification. So I tried to avoid anyone's reviews on Strange New Worlds. I try to do that every time. I try to avoid reviews until I see it myself, and I didn't see it till
Yeah, no,
yesterday,
that's good
till
thing.
right before
I
the show.
also
So I'm gonna watch yours today, and I'm gonna watch PJ, and I'm sure this is gonna be entertaining because I'm sure you didn't like it either, right?
no, I did not. In fact, my review is actually a panel review. Captain's on there, some other people.
Oh, this is gonna be
We all had to just vent because we all had just watched another review where somebody was going about how much they liked it.
oh.
And I was like, oh no, this I couldn't stand it.
Well, they are clever. There were some things in there that were clever that will make a non. Okay, well, here's the thing. If you don't pay, if you're, there's definitely some things between the music and some other things that they do. This show, Strange New Worlds, it's very easy to trick someone into thinking that it's actually remotely actually Star Trek. And
Yes, and that is something I brought up because I did watch it twice. I did watch it twice, which I didn't want to do, but I felt it deserved it. You know, before I took um, a hard decision here and made my decision, I figured I'd give it a second chance, and no, it only made it more insidious that they
because
are hiding things.
PJ
right,
watched it 3.5 times and was defending it. So yeah, that
But there's other people who like. Listen,
yeah.
if PJ truly likes it, and I have no doubt that he does. He's not just saying this; he
No.
truly likes it. So that's good. I'm happy for PJ. The only point I brought it up was because to be in that position where you're the one person on a panel who feels differently than the rest of the panel, I mean, I understand, and he listen. He did good. He did good last night.
well, let
Other
me tell
people
you,
would have just dropped off.
well, he, what'd you say?
I said other people might have just dropped off. He
Right.
didn't. He
Right now,
stayed.
now
He
there was
stayed.
someone else that liked it last night on Doomcock Show, which was Corion Witch in Residence.
Oh, I did not notice
Well,
that.
yeah, because in the pre-show, so here's what you missed. So in the pre-show, where we all get together beforehand, I got there late. I always sign in late because I don't like being in pre-shows. I like going in cold. But anyway, so they were already there, and I don't know if they were there for 10 or 20 minutes or how long they were there. Sometimes we're there like at least 20, 30 minutes earlier before we start to talk about whatever, whatever it is. And so I get in there, and Kelvington's reviewing the show plan, and then Demcock says, "I think we're going to skip a card, and we'll talk about a couple things, and then we'll hit Strange New Worlds in an hour." And Doomcock's like, and I thought, and then it's like, which I'm absolutely pissed off about. This show sucked. Da, da, da. He does a mini rant, for about 30 seconds, and then Corian, which residence goes, I actually didn't think it was that bad. I'm going to watch the second episode for sure. And Doomcock's like, oh, so you liked it? Corian's like, yeah. He says, it wasn't too bad. And he says, oh, okay. And then he says, well, you're fucking, you must be fucking insane.
Yeah.
He says, I still love you as my brother, but you're fucking out of your fucking mind. And we're all laughing in the back because you know how Doomcock gets. And we're all laughing, even Corian, right? We're all laughing. And so then we go live and we're all just sort of on pins and needles wondering how bad he's going to lose it. And because he had told us before the show that he's for the first time ever, he says he's never even done this for Star Trek Discovery. He's going to release a 2 or 3 part review of that first episode, scathing it.
Right. He said today at noon he's releasing it.
Yeah.
Part 1.
Yeah. Hey, I got a question for you, Bird of Prey. Since you're a man of infinite knowledge and infinite combinations of things related to Star Trek. So at the end of the series, at the end of this episode, when was it Samuel or Sam?
Samuel Kirk, yeah, Sam Kirk.
Yep.
Who, from what I recall, isn't he the brother that dies in that one episode with the flying starfish?
Operation Annihilate. It's where the weird things attack the backs of them.
Yeah, that's okay. That's the flying starfish, which is still one of my favorite episodes. I love that episode. So isn't that his brother, right?
Yes.
So I'm a little confused on the timeline. Was his brother a lot older than him?
His brother was an older brother. And here's his technical name is George Samuel Kirk. Sam was only something that Captain Kirk, that James T. Kirk called him. His real name was George.
That's what I thought. I thought it was George. That's why I got all confused. I'm like, what's going on here?
Right. His name should have been George. Like Pike and everyone else should have been calling him George Kirk. Only Captain Kirk, only his brother ever called him Sam. But whatever. So yeah, his brother was an older brother, which was just portrayed by having a mustache on. You saw the body, which was William Shatner's body with a mustache. That's all we ever saw of George Samuel Kirk.
By the way, I gotta tell you, the way they did George in Strange New Worlds in this episode, the way they did it when he came out with that 1970s mustache, I swear he looked like Village People Kirk.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Mamo Prey thought too. But yeah, I don't know why they if they're changing up everything else, why they let him keep that mustache. But fine. And also, he's never in Starfleet. I mean, I guess it's possible he resigned from Starfleet later on, but
I thought he was just like a worker bee engineer dude at some planet colony.
He was a civilian, yeah.
Yeah, like
he was a civilian. By the time he died in Operation Annihilate, he was never in. I mean, not that he was never, but he wasn't in Starfleet. Yes, Mama Fred.
I watched that, and unless I missed something, they just introduced him by name. They didn't say he was Captain Kirk's brother. Maybe he's a cousin named Samuel.
Well, he looks exactly like
the brother that died.
Yeah. So, man, this is years, decades before that happened. There's no reason anybody would know who Captain Kirk was at this point.
Right.
He's just a random thing. So Mama Prey thinks that.
What if it's his father?
Actually, he could. I
mean, why is everybody saying it's his brother?
I think they said it was his brother.
I didn't hear that.
No, not in the episode. I think.
Oh, somebody.
In responding to people annoyed that they threw Kirk around. The producers have said that that's the brother.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they
All right.
confirmed that.
Then I need to go. Haven't bothered me.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Mom O'Prey was worried it could just be somebody with the Kirk last name, unrelated to Captain Kirk at all, a cousin or whatever.
I like the idea that it could be his father. That would have been interesting. Would have been. Not enough time, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's enough.
Yeah, I like the fact that 5 years have passed since, supposedly, if we're tying this into the TOS timeline, 5 years have passed since, whatever, where Kirk was, or not Kirk, where Pike was trapped on this planet that he's actually going to be going back to, where there were no females on the bridge because he's not used to women on the ship, where now he's got a ship full of women. Yeah, in 5 years.
Yeah.
Really? That's it's going to change that much in 5 years? I don't think so. I don't think people change their thinking that quickly unless some really big event happens.
To be honest, 5 years, it could change. I'm not saying it would, but of all the problems, listen, they're not going to use a man saying, "I can't get used to a woman on the bridge" in modern track. That's just.
I know.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah,
Anson Mount's portrayal of Pike is good. I would say it's not that that's one of the few things that is generally good. The problem is that A, it's not enough, and B, he's just playing Captain Kirk light. It's like, why? If we wanted Kirk, you could have just.
Well, since we've got Mexican Iron Man on, I'm going to ask you: was there anything you did like about the show? Because ripping this thing a new one is going to be easy, in my opinion. Finding something that's good is going to be the difficult part.
I think you might have stepped away for a second. If we can't hear you, Mexican Iron Man. I don't remember if it was him or someone else last night that did say.
Hold on, I'm having technical difficulties.
Oh, okay. No problem. Technical difficulties. So someone else, I believe, said, well, one of the best things was Nurse Chapel.
I can hear him mumbling.
Welcome back.
I don't know, man. StreamYard hates cell phones. Anyone who ever wants to live stream, do not use an iPhone or an Android for freaking StreamYards. It never works properly. All right, what was your question again?
Was there
anything? Is there anything?
Sorry.
Go ahead, Bert.
Was there anything you did like?
Let's see. I minimally was encouraged by the opening bedroom scene, which, by the way, I thought was a ripoff from the Star Trek movie where Captain Kirk was making breakfast and Picard walks in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it did seem like a ripoff of Generations.
Yeah. Yep. So, but I thought the Nurse Chapel character didn't look right, but she looked cute and smoking hot. but that's just my type. I tend to go for like that. I've got two or three distinctive types of girls that I date. That's one of the looks. So but I'm over that look. Blonde has proven to be crazy for me, so I think I'm over it. But she was kind of cute. Other than that, I thought the whole fucking show sucked. I didn't find anything redeeming about it, except Anson Mount's performance. I thought he did a good job of trying to act as best as he could with the lines that he was given, but he could have been given an incredibly great set of lines and a character arc that would have worked great. Instead, he's basically there as a set piece. He's basically there as super glue to hold the whole show together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think you're right.
Agree.
Because all of these actresses that are around him, all this fucking diversity, inclusion dipshits that are on the bridge, they're all fucking suck. You can tell they're bad actors and actresses and actresses. They suck. And by the way, in addition to no Mexicans, what the hell happened to hair in the future? Like all these chicks, like all have these butch ass He-Man Tila cuts. Every single fucking one of them.
You know, you could say it's to make it easier, but they've all got, we saw Future Tech. They have like, they just look into a mirror and the little dots come and cut their hair and whatnot, shape it. You don't have to worry about doing your own hair. And so you could have any look you wanted.
Give me a break. This show sucks. All right, Bambino needs to go out. I gotta take Bambino out and I gotta get ready for work. It's 9:00. I should have been up 2 hours. I should have been up 2 hours ago, but fuck. But I do that show. We do it till midnight East Coast time. So
enjoy listening to Orville Nation.
I'm going to listen to Orville Nation, then I'm going to cleanse my palate with Bird of Prey, with the review you guys did with the one that you did with Bird of Prey on Bird of Prey channel. That will be my palate cleanser. I love PJ to pieces. Like, he's one of the nicest, greatest guys on the internet. And and as we say here in the South, bless his soul. Or bless his heart. Bless his heart.
Absolutely. Well, listen, we're a month out from Orville, less than a month out. So we can do it.
Really?
June 2nd.
Oh my God. It's been like 3 years.
Yeah.
It has been like 3 years, right?
Yeah, almost three. It's been epically long time, but I honestly worry it's been too long.
Do you think I should re-binge all of the other
absolutely. I've been rewatching them. I've re-binged them like 6 times already. But yeah, it wouldn't hurt to watch them again.
Before I sign off, let me ask you a question, Bert. What is it about the Orville? See, well, the thing what gets me about the Orville is that it's strangely familiar to Star Trek, yet it's very different.
Yeah.
What is that exactly? How would you describe it? How it's so similar, yet it's not. It's not. I don't know. I can't put my finger on it.
It's Star Trek. If Star Trek started in 2018, the writing is, I would say, on par with TOS and at least TNG episodes, but the budget, the looks, and some of the decisions they made, make more sense for a show that was created new in 2018. The technology, the looks. Whereas, if you were creating Trek for the first time in 2018, I think you might have gone with the just the vocabulary, that it's using modern day English when people talk, not an idealized 2060s version of English. They have they curse. And we're okay with it. Their replicators can make weed and we're okay with it for the most part. Their simulators are like basically holodecks, but more used more often, or how we would expect them to be used.
Yeah.
Right? They're used to create games. They're used to create sex fantasies. And that's absolutely what they'd be being used for on the Enterprise D. We just never saw it being used like that. But we
Right.
know that's what would be being done with them. And they just show us what's real. They're not afraid. I'd say they're not afraid of showing us real what would really happen. And you can say, well, Discovery's cursing and Discovery's this. Yeah, but they're Star Trek. They're not supposed to be cursing. Okay, there was 50 years of Trek before somebody had to utter the F-bomb. And I don't want that in Trek. Now, I don't mind it in the Orville, because the Orville is a brand new show. It's if they want to. The Orville is Trek with a fresh start.
Yeah.
Right. I got it. Makes sense.
I mean, it's a show inspired by Trek, but it's not Trek. And it's not intended
Seth
to
Trek, says Nitpickers. Exactly. Star Trek Nitpickers. It's Seth Trek. Seth is a change you can tell. It is. And you know what? And that's the thing. Seth MacFarlane loves Star Trek. He still does. He finally used his abilities to get himself on Enterprise before Enterprise got canceled. And that was a dream of his, to be on it. And his next dream would have been to take over or create a new Trek. And he tried, and they were like, fuck you. And it's like, yeah, now you got the Orville.
Yeah. All right, guys. Have a great day. Talk to you later.
Take
Talk to
care.
you later.
All right, bye.
That was a nice surprise.
Absolutely. Thank you, Bird.
You're welcome.
I kind of figured you had when all of a sudden I saw Mexican Iron Man backstage. So I thought.
Well, it was actually because I read the more recent chats. He said, send me the link. So I figured by the time you got up, I would have already sent it. So I sent him the link.
Ah, cool. See, I totally overlooked that because I was trying to get caught up in chat once you were way ahead of me.
Remember to like those Star Trek Nitpickers. Absolutely. Thank you.
Good morning, Star Trek Nitpickers. Yes, I finally had enough coffee. I could say that.
Kronos. May I curse here? In the text, Kronos. You know what, Kronos? No. If you come up on the stream, I'm sure Captain Fandom Nerd would say you can curse.
Absolutely. You are free to come up on the panel and curse. Kronos.
Any curse words you want, even the C ones. In fact, I'm going to give you special dispensation. You can say anything, including the words that get Captain turned off.
Yep.
You want to come up here and just yell out racial epithets. Don't just yell them out about everybody. Just don't get them all before you get the channel tossed.
Exactly. If we're going to burn the channel, let's burn it good.
Kapla Arabic Sander.
And Arabic Sander is in the chat, so we're going to have to do this real quick.
Listen to me very carefully, because I'm only going to say this once. Coffee. Black.
Coffee. Black. While I've got your attention, there are...
Coffee first. Well, this mentor would like another cup of coffee. I'm just gonna have to give up coffee. Want some coffee?
If I'm not mistaken, that's your third cup this morning.
Fourth, and on a day like today, it won't be my last. Coffee. The finest organic suspension ever devised. Commander, set a new course. There's coffee in that nebula.
And you're welcome, Eric Sander. How is everyone doing today? And of course, 47 Yorktown said, hashtag Janeway did nothing wrong.
She did to Tuvix. No, I always agreed that the Tuvix had no right to exist.
I still say they should have saved the pattern before separating the two.
You can't save a pattern.
Well, see, they could have used it in a hologram. And you can't say they can't because they did that on blah 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 blah.
DS9.
DS9, thank you.
Okay, DS9 was a special case. It took up all this extra memory the entire station had for them to create a hologram of Tuvix and just let him live. That's a very, very bad ethical issue to allow someone to exist but who can never leave the holodeck. And two, that's not fair to Tuvix or Neelix, because now you're giving somebody half their memories. Or all their memories. It's not.
Well, just like I said, it could be done. And if you were a program, he could be slightly reprogrammed. So. So, by the way, where is Kronos? I haven't seen him pop in.
You don't see him popping. He's in the chat right now.
No, I'm talking, backstage.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I mean.
Yes. Jedi Bill, she did actually say there's coffee in that nebula.
Yep.
Didn't mean actual she didn't mean actual coffee. She meant there was enough material in there that the replicators would be able to create coffee, because they were at the verge of having to shut off all the replicators. Bring back Tuvix and put him in the Section 31 show. That's 47 Yorktown. I need to take my blood pressure cap, and I'll be right back.
Oh, no problem. 47 Yorktown says, bring back Tuvix and put him in Section 31 show. Oh, my God. Let's not have a Section 31 show. Never. And the lovely Sherry says, follow Rod Thunderheart on Twitter, and puts in the link. Cardinal Sin says, are they still even doing a Section 31 show? Who knows? They're going to talk about it for as long as they can. And good afternoon, Mountains of Elysium. How are you? Yes, Kronos, bird has blood. Believe it or not. Good morning, Gap Stargate. How are you? And yes, that's another one. On Voyager, they transfer the mind of the race that harvested organs, or the name, to a hologram on the holodeck. It is possible. So they could have created a holographic version of him. They just didn't want him around. They didn't like Tuvix. Oh well. And so, what is going on, everyone? Hopefully, you're enjoying your day so far. It is Monday. Monday. Enough material in the nebula to make even a weasel shit coffee. Bird of Prey 5. And good morning, Anti-Dirty Jill. I'm sorry I haven't said good morning to you. How are you doing today?
Sorry, Cap, I'm back.
No problem. Were you listening?
I was.
Okay.
Welcome, Anti-Derivative Jill. The television is showing beautiful pictures of Yosemite. And pivotal role Chinese immigrants played inside Yosemite. And I gotta say, I did one summer trip to Yosemite.
Mm-hmm.
It was one of the most beautiful places I'd ever been. And I
Cool.
really gotta give a thumbs up. If you guys ever get a chance to travel, it's best in the summer. You head over to Yosemite, California. You could spend a week easy going around. It doesn't have to be a week, but if you could, you get a cabin. I guess these days you Airbnb it. Back when I did this, you actually you rented a cabin through a website.
Mm-hmm.
But these days would be all Airbnb. It's nice. You get a rental car, truck, you drive around a bit, you go to the various trails, you do a day of rafting down the river. Good, it's all good stuff, especially the rafting. Beautiful views. You got to see Half Dome and the mountain that Kirk climbs in Star Trek V. And another day you can put to seeing the big redwood trees. That's a day, maybe two. Those giant trees that they used to cut tunnels through in the olden days. Now they don't even want people walking on the dirt. Apparently, walking on the dirt compresses the dirt too much and hurts the trees. So they keep you off to a very narrow trail, which, like, that's some bullshit. And they would say the only people allowed to drive around were the people who had uh, what's that called? Handicap plates. If
Mm-hmm.
you didn't have handicap plates, you had to get out and use the park systems. They had their own tram system. I was like, that's bullshit. But all the handicap people, they're so lucky they can just drive their own car. Me, I would be able to be a handicapped person, and I can't get there.
Yep.
Damn it, the handicapped people get all the great praise. Same at the Grand Canyon. You can't use the Western Road unless you're handicapped. Otherwise, you've got to use the Grand Canyon bus system. Antidote Jill says me neither. Don't want to deal with Wesley.
Oh.
What Wesley? Android of Jill says you have to be careful when creating personalities on the holodeck. They can become sentient. Yeah,
This is true. I blame Janeway for part of that.
or what?
The sentient holograms.
Hmm.
I mean, as the captain of the ship, isn't she ultimately to blame?
It's a trap. Well, it seems like the problem was occurring everywhere, not just on Voyager.
Right.
The entire Mark One hologram.
Well, they were doing
all-
this. They were doing the same thing Janeway was, which was using them constantly.
And they all developed life of their own. Okay. Antidote Jill is being silly. He doesn't want to deal with. She doesn't want to deal with Wesley being a traveler. Got it.
Oh. Sometimes I worry I'll become sentient. I doubt that'll happen.
Wasn't the? Didn't they say that the germ or whatever that Rene Picard was finding on Europa sentient?
Mm-hmm.
but then it wasn't, or it was, but it is. She believed it was sentient, but it
Right.
turned out to just like to eat our garbage.
Isn't that nice?
Well, I like that the fact that it's basically saying, just keep polluting the earth. We're going to find a magical amoeba or something that's going to get rid of all our pollution. Science.
Of course, how are we going to get rid of this amoeba once it's done eating all the pollution?
We make more pollution.
Ah, so then we have to make pollution in order to keep this thing alive.
Yeah.
Seems rather counterproductive, doesn't it?
No, I'm sure you just misunderstand.
TWTT content says Moriarty was fun. Fun? I don't know if fun would be the word I'd use. And hello, Chris. How are you today?
Be right back again. Yeah.
Absolutely. No problem. Oh. Let's see here now. Wonder if Anti-Derivative Jill would like to come on. I'm sure I could find a way to send her the link. Even if I were to send it to Kronos, he wouldn't come on because Kronos doesn't have a mic connected. First he says he doesn't have a mic, but then he finally admitted he has several on the devices that he has something, but he just doesn't use it. Apparently there are some young scientists who discovered a bacteria that eats plastic. Kardashians are scared out of their wits. It'd be nice if we could use some of that. You're not always available. There are times you're not on. So you do something called sleep once in a while. So I don't want to presume that anyone's going to be interested in coming on necessarily without being let's see here now. Okay. Now, let me go ahead with this one. Let's see here now. Oops. Can't open that one. too big. Get to this. Here we go. And there we go. Now you can't say I didn't invite you. Blah. And let's see here now.
Says, come on, chap. You only need 2 more subs to pass me. Get on the ball.
Actually, I had been tied for about a day. And then I had 3 unsubscribed because of the name change. So, and then I gained some back. So, yeah, we were tied for a little bit and then not. And why are you cheering for this? You're supposed to be wanting your more subs for you. And good morning, Cardinal Sin.
Good morning.
How are you doing today?
I am wonderful. Kapla, Bird of Prey 5.
I think he's taking medicine or something.
I understand.
But Deej, I couldn't agree with you more. I could not agree with you more. I mean, I'm not refusing it, but I'm not pushing for it.
There are ways, and then there are ways.
Well, I think there are some people that are a little too focused on numbers.
Yeah, you might be right about that.
I was until I reached 500. Then it's like, eh. Then I had the last one I had I had 700 because I just waited to do that to have an official giveaway, which I still need to get the address for one of the people. Waiting on that one, but so how has your night been, Cardinal Sin?
Great. I'm just getting ready for tonight's show on Masters of the Genre. I'll be talking to Andrew Lehman and Sean Branney of the H.P. Lovecraft Historical Society. And I am a lifetime member and very excited about interviewing those two guys.
Awesome.
They're amazing. They helped Brown University buy a lot of correspondence from H.P. Lovecraft, and then the independent third-party guy that was selling it raised the price once they got into his lower price. So they found some other people and asked their membership to kick in, and I did. And now Brown University has all of his other papers that were before in the hands of a private collector. And they have a podcast called Voluminous, where they read his correspondence, and they put out all kinds of games. They put out a silent film, a little silent film called Call of Cthulhu, which you might recognize from my background.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And then they also made The Whisperer in Darkness, which is one of my favorite movies. Really good.
Wow.
Really good stuff. Yeah.
Cool.
And it's a really pretty package. They do great work. I mean, they really know what they're doing.
Oh yeah.
And helping promote H.P. Lovecraft in this age, especially because he was a racist and he was anti-Semitic. Part of the conversation will include, how people deal with that, in the cancel culture and all that kind of thing. And they're not here to defend his racism, obviously, but his work speaks for itself. And I know people probably get tired of hearing things like, well, everybody was kind of like that back then. But everybody was kind of like that back then. But he was, especially racist, I suppose. It didn't come out in his writing, but it came out in his correspondence quite a bit. He ended up marrying a Jewess, actually, which I think is ironic.
Yeah.
But this is one of those interviews for me where I'm like a little bit too gushing fanboy, and I'm just really excited for the show. Walter Bosley is going to be co-hosting with me because he's a big fan of them as well.
Awesome.
So, yeah, it's part of my my big week this week.
Sounds like a good thing to be watching tonight.
Yeah, definitely everybody's invited. I will pop the link into the chat if you'd like.
Of course. That way you can set a reminder so you can be sure to watch tonight.
If I can find the right window. There you go.
Sounds like Bird of Prey 5, who has 800 windows open.
Oh, thank you, Jill. So, yeah, they've made all kinds of props for stage and screen and games, and they come up with the most clever T-shirts and things like that. So if you're a fan of H.P. Lovecraft, this is definitely something that you don't want to miss. If you're a fan of cosmic horror and that kind of thing, it's going to be a really great show.
Reminder is set. Good.
Yeah, these guys are so big time that it's like, sometimes when you ask people, they just say yes. So it's made me hopeful because that's a lot of what I do. Working on my channel is setting up guests, and it's kind of a producer function. But let's face it, we're one-man operations. So I think that the fact that I've interviewed a lot of people in the past, especially in a previous life when I interviewed like punk bands for my fanzine and things like that, it just goes to show that if you ask, many times they'll say yes.
course, I'm one of those weird ones. I don't want to risk hearing no.
Right.
And funny thing is, I now have actually 2 links that people can either use the Captain Trek one or the Captain Fandom Nerd link to find my page on YouTube.
Groovy. Well, I'm a subscriber to your secondary channel, and definitely look forward to seeing what the rest of the year brings. I think that you and I are both within striking distance of monetization, since we have almost the exact same number of subscribers.
You're far closer than I am. So
I don't know if I'm far closer. You've got 739. I've got 743. That's 4 different.
I thought you had more. Sorry.
That's all right. Definitely after the next couple of weeks, I think because of the way that I've set things up and invited people on and things like that, I think I'm gonna hit 1,000 pretty soon now.
Cool.
And I can't deny that I'm looking forward to that. Get back at this big bad YouTube machine that's hurt me.
By the way, what are you drinking this morning?
Me?
Yes.
I'm drinking just water.
Oh, okay. Didn't know if you had something special in there or...
Oh, no. If I had something special in there, I'd make sure it was, everybody could see it.
I mean, some kind of juice.
I mean, how special are you talking? Do you mean like ayahuasca or what?
I'm just talking like juice or something.
Oh,
Nothing.
yeah. I need to get some more juice, actually, now that I think about it. I don't think I mentioned that Walter Bosley will be my co-host this evening. Or did I?
Yes, you did, but that is awesome.
Yeah, that is awesome. That's a real coup as well. And he's currently shooting a movie called Kaleidoscope Grimoire. And I think he said it's a 27-minute film. I'm one of the producers of the film, and it involves a lot of stop motion animation. He's making his own sets, his own miniatures. He understands how to use forced perspective and all these in-camera tricks while he's shooting, and so I think there's kind of a... I'm not going to say he's in awe of Andrew and Sean of the H.P. Lovecraft Historical Society, but because they made movies in the cosmic horror arena, and they were shoestring budget films that didn't look like it, especially Whisperer in Darkness looks like a Hollywood film. I think that they're kind of as... They hold a place in his life that's as reverent as the position that I hold for them. Maybe even more so.
Ow. Lucky Dude says, I used to make stop motion movies with my toys when I was a kid. There were a lot of people who did that. I wonder what those would look like now.
I remember making a stop motion animation picture for school. I was in a class where that was like an assignment, and mine was really pathetic. I had like a couple of stacks of dimes, going up and down, and that was really all I could think of. But I was a kid, it's not like the same thing I might do today, although I don't have the patience or the fine motor coordination to make all those little changes anymore.
That's what assistants are for.
Yeah. I woke up last week not being able to feel my left arm. Then the day after that, I woke up and I couldn't feel my right arm, and ever since then, the tip of my thumb has been numb, like you could stick a pin in it. I can feel hot and cold on it and pressure, but hey, Deej.
Hey, Deej.
Hello.
Hello. Good morning.
I'm walking on sunshine.
Oh, yeah.
I'm walking on sunshine.
Oh, yeah.
But it's really Christopher Walken.
And it's time to feel good.
That's right.
I always love to hear the good captain laugh. It does my soul good.
Deej is always good for bringing laughter on.
That I do not deny.
So, what's going on, Deej?
I'm sitting here trying to get motivated to put the air conditioner in.
Ah.
Oh man, is it on the first floor?
No, second.
Yeah, well, make sure you don't find yourself out on the roof having installed it, and whatever you do, don't jump down from the roof 1 story to the ground, because I broke every bone in my lower left leg last year by doing that very thing.
And no roof where I'm putting this in, so if I fall, it's straight down. Spot.
There you go.
But it's going to be too damn hot in the next 4 days. I need to get that damn thing in.
Yep. You do.
88 degrees today, 91 tomorrow, 92 the next day, 90 again.
Wow.
Yeah, and then it goes back to the 70s.
It's been really unusually, unseasonably chilly here in northeastern Kansas. We go from storms to cold to humid to storms to cold. It's winter's wintry grasp is still hanging on for its life.
It's in lower 70s where I'm at.
Yeah, I've got 76 at the moment.
It's only 65 here right now, but all that heat's going to move in this afternoon, and that sucks.
One of the things that really has bothered me about the weather in the last few years, I guess we can call it climate at this point. The ground temperature has to be a certain height for morel mushrooms to come in around this time of year, and it's just been too damn cold. The ground isn't warm enough for the morel mushrooms to pop up, and that they're a choice delectable mushroom that I've been hunting off and on. I mean, I'm not like a yearly hunter, but I've been into it for probably 30 years, going out and finding good places. And around here, you can sell them to restaurants and places like that for, I don't know, $60 a pound, probably.
About the same around here, too.
Yeah.
Wow.
You just got to get out there and walk around the woods looking for the damn things.
Yeah, and you got to be really careful. Go in pairs. Make sure and check each other for ticks when you're done. All that good stuff. The best time I had, the best year I had for morels, I went down by the river, the Kansas River, right after a storm, and it had upended, a tree, and where the roots were, there was all this dirt it had pulled up from underground, and there were like a big bowl full almost of morels there, and when you're hunting morels, you always want to take your knife and cut the morel off at the stem so it'll grow back next year.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen people that have just huge bagfuls of them. I've heard of people that had like garbage bags filled with them. Although that may be kind of an urban myth. I'm not sure anybody really gets that many. But yeah, I'm really into hunting morels. There's a Kansas morel hunters group on Facebook that I'm a part of, and I kind of stopped looking at it mostly because there are people that claim to be in Kansas that have much higher ground temperature than we have around here, and they're showing these huge pictures of morels that they brought back, and I'm just like, that's not possible.
I think the most I ever found at one time was maybe 2 Walmart plastic bagfuls, but
Oh, that's a good amount.
that was an entire day of being out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good day. I bet you were eating on those for a long time.
Well, I had some of them, and I turned around and sold some of them.
There you go.
Why
You just got to be careful to soak them in salt water, get all those mites out before you cook them.
Yep. Good shit, though. Good shit.
And they always say to use a mesh bag so that the spores fall down and will help, more morels grow in different places. Because if you use like a shopping bag that doesn't have any holes in the bottom, you'll be taking the spores as well, and they're very, very difficult, if not impossible, to grow in captivity, for lack of a better phrase. But boy, they sure are good. So, Captain, how has your name change been going? What kind of feedback have you gotten? How do you feel about it since you changed the name and so forth?
I've gotten negative feedback. I've gotten positive feedback, and I'm going to say that I glad I've gotten positive feedback, and the negative feedback, they'll just have to get used to it.
Yeah. You know, look how much shit I got when I changed my name to Deej.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
I still
What did
get
you
shit.
change it from?
DJ.
Oh.
I went from my DJing name, but then when I retired from DJing, I just went with Deej.
Mm-hmm.
Seems to have worked out.
Well, I still get harassed about it from time to time.
Yeah. Well, you can't please everybody all the time,
No. And I'm not worried about doing that.
Yeah. Good. Fuck those guys anyway. It's all about what makes you happy.
Exactly. And that's what Jimcock said to me. Do what makes you happy, and I am.
Mm-hmm.
So
Good advice.
Boy, he was on a hell of a rant last night.
Oh yeah, he was in fine form. I was ready to send him a super chat that said, "Preach, brother." So, Deej, what do you have coming up soon?
Not much. I don't give a shit anymore.
Oh, okay.
You're not doing any farming videos, or?
Well, I put out a farm life video the other night. I've got an idea of a new sad dino video.
Cool.
That is cool.
I don't know. I just kind of lost the passion.
Understandable.
So I just, whenever something feels, I was thinking about after I get the air conditioner in the day, I may have to do a rant stream to where I just rant about certain things.
That reminds me, I had a question for Captain.
Yes.
Are you planning on having an 800 subscriber celebration?
Nope.
Got to have one at 750 though.
Nope.
Well, fine.
Well, I hope you'll attend mine.
Oh, I will.
Thank you. I don't know when that will be, but I will certainly let you know.
I appreciate that.
Of course.
I did have fun
Strange
during
new world.
Doomcock stream last night. PJ was on there,
Uh-huh.
so I kept private messaging PJ shit just to make him start laughing.
I
the
was private messaging him too.
Every once in a while, you'll see PJ just start laughing on screen for no reason. That's partially my fault because of the shit that I was saying to him in DMs.
That's me. That's all my fault. The thing I find interesting about PJ, who I love dearly and is a great friend and a great friend of my channel, as he is yours, I'm sure, is he always looks down because his computer's like down here, but his camera's up there, and so he's always like looking down. And I sent him a private message that was like, hey, you should like look up once in a while. You know, you're constantly staring down. And so he kind of, you know, looked around and kind of looked up a little bit, and then he went back to, you know, just look at his laptop. Hopefully I'll be doing some stuff with PJ soon, co-hosting on his channel, and he'll be co-hosting on mine.
Well, that'd be cool.
I hope, because we used to do that, and I think we made a good pair. We had a lot of good chemistry together.
Yeah, we got one more Peach and Deej stream to do too when it comes into June. See
That's
who was
cool.
right. Is the Orville delayed or not?
And does the Orville have a fourth season or not?
I just want it to be delayed because Maria opened her mouth and said she'd take pictures in the bikini if it gets delayed again.
You toxic male, Deej.
So I'm just, hey,
Her
she-
idea. Her idea.
It was her idea, and
That's
she
true.
said it on stream. So I'm pushing for at least a 1 day delay, so she has to do it. And that's another reason why I don't want to hit 1K, or PJ's going to make me wear the damn thing. So no.
That timeline's dead, so hey.
I don't think
Deadline's
have any-
over, so who cares?
It's
I
bad
don't
enough
think
I
I
got.
have any reveals at 1,000 planned.
It's bad enough now. Stephen Walton wants to get into the act to push me to wear the Leia bikini.
Oh, yeah, I
Would
remember
you-
hearing him.
Deej, would you wear a bikini and then the rabbit costume on top? Or would you do the Madonna thing and wear the bikini on the outside of the rabbit costume?
I don't want to wear the bikini at all.
Well, outside the rabbit costume would be fine.
I guess, yeah, I could wear the rabbit outfit and then put the bikini on over it, so that wouldn't be too bad.
Have to shop at some kind of weird and, big and tall rabbit store.
Get me a moo bikini.
There you go.
Ow.
Yeah,
No,
Cap,
Kronos.
you're in some pain this morning, huh?
Just a bit.
No, Kronos, not an itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini. No.
Yeah, I've had a couple of days recently when I could not get out of pain. It's one of the reasons why I stay up and have like 36-hour days. It hurts. The worst time of day is when I wake up, so I try and forestall having to go to sleep for as long as I can.
Understandable. That's quite understandable. Let's see here. Wow, we've been going almost 2 hours. I can't believe it.
How cool is that?
Going over to check out Culture Casino is going to be coming up in a little bit with his 6-minute daily, and then Midnight's Edge should be on later as well. Bird, you got anything coming up this morning? You doing a bed life? Assuming Bird's awake.
Cuddle life? Somebody gonna show up? Cuddle?
I messaged him in the private chat and he didn't message me back.
He's asleep. No problem.
Yeah, that's cool. I was going to ask him the same thing if he had anything coming up he was going to plug.
Bird usually does a good job of plugging himself, so he's
That didn't sound
to
good.
sleep.
That didn't sound good at all.
No, but it was unintended.
Oi!
That's like a euphemism down under, plugging yourself.
Come out!
Oi, where's Ozzy Play? We need Ozzy Play. Where's
Ozzy Prey?
Yeah. You can definitely tell he's asleep now because that would have drew him out doing his Ozzy Prey impersonation.
Ozzy Prey?
Yeah.
Ozzy Prey?
It didn't do it. So,
Nope.
yeah, he's definitely asleep.
Well,
Or maybe he's lurking.
possible, but Bird is
Nah,
usually...
he's asleep.
But thank you, everybody. Thank you, thank you, Bird of Prey 5. Thank you, Cardinal Sin. Thank you, Deed, for coming on.
Of course.
I want to thank everybody who's been in the chat. Thank you so much. It's been a great stream. Remember, Catch Culture Casino coming up in about 40 minutes. And then Midnight Touch is coming on after that.
Just remember, when you go over to Culture, just remember, say, hello, Cuddles.
That's right. And
Hello
everyone-
and goodbye.
Oh, Bird just said.
Sorry,
Bird's
I just got back, but I heard you closing up. So
Where'd you go?
I had personal business to attend to.
And how did you go?
You don't want me to answer that.
he was sleeping. Let's just say that. He was sleeping.
No, the truth is he had to poop. Leave him alone.
Oh. Really? We're going to go
Deej
there?
is closer on this one.
I know he's closer on that one. That's the point. I would rather think of you sleeping.
Well, the truth hurts. The
Especially
truth
if you're
also
constipated.
smells.
Constipation a problem? No, I dig it.
Oh. Oh. Steve.
Come on, that's a Gallagher joke.
Oh my God. I know, but oh my God.
Want a
I should have
laxative that's
just.
gentle? No, I want a bomb. Rough me up.
But I think I'm going to take another nap at this point.
Okay, cool.
Uh,
Bert, are you coming? Are you going live later?
yes, we got a members only stream at 4 p.m. today, and then after that will be a general open panel stream.
Awesome.
Cool.
With that, I do want to thank you again for watching, and have a great day.
Blah.
Kapla.